The following commentary is going to be controversial and thought-provoking. So, if you're not into those things, please don't listen to it. But if you are, strap in, because we have to have an honest conversation. Hey y'all, Gravity, any day above ground livid. So you already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right, share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. I was on YouTube the other day, looking at what's going on with Kyrie Irving and the ADL and things of that nature. And I saw a poll from a YouTuber. I'm not going to give out their name because I don't want them to get in trouble for what I'm about to say. But they had done a poll saying who has more power, the Jewish community or the LGBT community. And I said, that's a hell of a thought. I said, you know what? Let me sit down and really think about this. Now we know both of those communities, in the grand scheme of the social media age, they wield a lot of power. I mean, hell, you go online and you say something about either one of those groups, you're going to have a firestorm rage on you. But then when you deepen and go down the layers and you look at past history, I came to the conclusion that, honestly, I think the LGBT community has way more power than the Jewish community. Now, again, like I said at the beginning, this is going to be controversial and thought-provoking, but I just want y'all to hear me out a little bit. Now, we'll start with the Jewish community. Now, we've seen what's been going on with Kyrie Irving and Dave Chappelle and Kanye West the last month, and how there's been this pushing of make sure that if you say something against the Jewish community, you get labeled anti-Semitic. Even though what Kanye really did wasn't really anti-Semitic. I mean, he just said he was going to go DEFCON 3. He didn't say anything controversial in there. It's just people reacted to the fact that he might have said something out of line. Okay. In the midst of all that, he lost a lot of his fortune. Then we slide over to Kyrie Irving. He tweets out a link to a documentary called Hebrews to Negroes. Most people didn't even hear about this, but he puts that out there and he has to jump through hoops just to go play basketball tomorrow. Maybe. But I found that by him doing that, he kind of provoked the conversation. Because again, the Jewish community came outside and they were saying how he's anti-Semitic and all these companies talking about how they're not going to do business with him. He has, like I said, he has to go into all these protocols just to get back on the court. But a strange phenomenon happened. Despite all the talking heads saying that he wasn't a good person, I'm looking at you, Shaq and Charles Barkley, especially you, Shaq, for saying that man wasn't conscious. I don't know. You have never exuded a level of consciousness ever in life. Negro, you were about to go broke if your white accountant didn't tell you to start investing in companies and stop spending money. You admitted this. Kyrie Irving, in the midst of tweeting out a link, made a lot of black people see what us in the black grassroots and new black media have been telling y'all for years, that you cannot trust black folks just because they look like you, especially the ones that are on an elevated level, because they have somebody that they're answering to and it's not you. So we have to give Kyrie Irving the utmost respect for that. But I find it highly, highly suspect that the ADL ran outside and said something and everybody started jumping on it. But then I found it very therapeutic to see that black people and other people have been pushing against what the ADL's been trying to do, especially Jonathan Greenblatt, because he's been on this concerted effort to knock Kyrie Irving every chance he gets, or anytime somebody black kind of stands up, he has to come out with a statement on behalf of the ADL. And now all of a sudden I'm starting to see Jewish people, which I'll show this tweet on the screen. Jewish people have started to call out the ADL. This is good. We need to have these conversations. But this goes into why I think the LGBT have way more power than the Jewish community. When that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary dropped, it was under the LGBT label. They wielded enough significance and outrage to get a major streaming company to change and delete a label. You say something against the LGBT community, your career is essentially done. Because no matter how right or wrong you are, you will lose everything based on what I've seen. Now, it also happens when you say something against the Jewish community, but I'm starting to see a lot more people support people that actually tell the truth. Or they tell that uncomfortable, I guess you could call it uncomfortable realization, uncomfortable reality. The LGBT community is the most powerful force on earth because right now they're able to influence pop culture. Hell, that new movie that Disney's doing, Strange Things, they have what they claim the first openly gay teenager who's black. And let you say something against that, you're going to have the wrath of God showing up. To watch in real time a minority group change culture and not catch backlash for it, as a black person, you got to kind of admire that, because every day we wish we had that power. But that also comes with having legislation on the books to make sure your lives and your free speech and your freedom of expression are protected. And don't give me the Constitution, because that's bullshit. The LGBT have been cultivating their power for over 30 years. And its apex was when Obama signed that gay marriage bill into law. That gave them so many protections. They were freely able to go outside and basically shape the world that we live in now. Now, you had people that pushed back. Russia pushed back when they hosted the Winter Olympics in Sochi. And you saw what happened. People were talking about, oh, boycott that, Putin's a homophobe, things of that nature. And he caught a lot of bad press for it. Hell, every time they shoehorn a gay character into something in media, people push back. And then people are like, oh, that's homophobic. You can't say that. And then our only recourse for those who don't want to see these shoehorned agendas is just not to support it. But then it's starting to trickle down now, because now the LGBT agendas and their influence are starting to permeate into other areas and trying to, well, I'll just give you an example. I think if they weren't that strong with it, you probably wouldn't have seen this influx of, let's elevate these female comic book characters to a level that's on the level of men. Not to say that they're not great like they are in the comics, because they are. But it doesn't feel organic. It feels like it's forced. Like, hell, for example, for those who are black and you were a fan of movies, y'all remember the character Cleopatra Jones. Yes, she was a made up character, but she felt organic. She felt like she could kick your butt, but she had a charisma and a humbleness to her. You get these characters nowadays, you feel like it's just somebody just was told to write this. Somebody was told to write an LGBT character and make them the focal point. And people aren't receptive to it because they can't connect with it. Hell, that Superman comic that I told y'all last year was going to get canceled because you're taking an established character and we don't mind you putting a new spin on it, but you're forcing an agenda on people. People are not going to accept it. And now it's canceled. What am I saying? You can't mess with the LGBT community. They're all over the world. So your words are going to follow you. I would love to interview somebody from the LGBT community so they can explain this more to me. But all in all, this is my personal opinion. So don't get offended, either group. This is my opinion. I really think that the LGBT right now are the strongest force next to black folks on this planet in terms of influence, in terms of shaping pop culture, hell, even shaping governments. Because when they talk, people be quiet and either make the decision to stand with us or they go in the house. And the simple fact, like I said before, that you're seeing a lot of Jewish people, prominent Jewish people, coming out now and saying what's been long told never to say, start to say it. It's crazy. This is crazy times we're living in. I mean, hell, just to end this off, I did a story a couple weeks ago about Donald Trump going in on the Jewish community that's here in America, and he didn't get any backlash for it, none whatsoever, or it was very minute. So we can take that as an example that if that man can get away with saying what he said, that either they don't care that he said it, or they're starting to realize that a lot of people are waking up. So again, this is just an opinion piece, so don't y'all come up in here in my comment thread getting pissed off at what I said. You want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. Keep it respectful. Don't be going in with the comments like that, or I will delete the shit. But again, this is just a thought I had. But anyway, let me get up out of here. You already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right, share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. Take care. Stay safe. I'm out.